Hey guys, so this is going to primarily be me answering questions that a viewer had asked on my new Path Draconic Wicca video. And he had said, I have been practicing contacting dragons through meditation, although I have not been successful yet. Am I doing something wrong, or do I just need more practice? The first thing that I want to address is primarily my experiences when it comes to my guardians, my dragons. Quite honestly, I have only gone to 2 of my dragons. One of them, some of you know from my Facebook page that I had some issues, I think it was back in May, to where I felt very stressful, anxious. I felt very, very nervous. And all my symptoms primarily had to do with solar flares that had been occurring that I wasn't aware of. Actually, someone else pointed it out to me. And so what I did was I contacted Sun Dragon in order to help me basically calm myself down. You know, there's a whole story behind the meditation, my experience, and everything else, but I'm going to primarily keep that out of this video. And then there was another dragon that I had contacted a few months ago for an issue that we were having, in order to help us with that. And both of them had stayed around. You know, my Sun Dragon at the end of it asked if he could be one of my guardians, one of several that I have. And I was surprised. And of course, you know, when a dragon asks you that, you know, especially when you get along with them, you say yes. And the other one has just basically stuck around, being quite content with the others. But I have my primary, I think I have like 6 dragons around me. I have my primary since I was 13. The majority of them have come to me. Especially at times that either I have needed them. My primary guardian has been around pretty much since I was little. I just never really knew it up until a few months after my stepdad of 12 years he ended up committing suicide. So I was going through a very, very tough time due to the fact that I was the one that found him, and the images haunted me day, night. It was bad, and I was a wreck. I was a mess. I was a mess for 10 years after that. And so one night I'm in my bed and I'm bawling my eyes out, and then I just suddenly see this dragon, you know, laying on my pillow, because I had one underneath my head and another one going down the side against the wall. As kind of like a spare pillow, and he was laying on the spare. And he has been around ever since. I finally asked him his name. I think it was back in 2009. 2009 or 2010. And then I have my others. One that had come to me was a Chaos Dragon, and that was a few months ago, in order to help me deal with the trauma of Daddy. Like, in my meditation, she took me to the past, and I'm wiping out all of my, I guess you could say, demons that have haunted me throughout the years, and have basically fed on my fear, my trauma, and my emotions. And it was a battle and a half, but ever since then, I don't necessarily get upset randomly anymore. So I thank her highly for coming to me and helping me. But for the most part, I have had dragons come to me instead of me just going to them. I have had a connection with them for years, and even in past lives. But when it comes to contacting dragons, you have to keep an open mind, but at the same time you have to keep characteristics in your head as to what type of dragon that you are asking for. Kind of like one that is patient, one that is kind, because not all of them are like, they're like humans. You know, you're gonna get your rude ones, you're gonna get the ones that mock you, who kind of like try and push you along. Trust me, I have an impatient dragon within my, I guess you call, clan, and he pissed me off a few months ago. It was during my fire training, and he had such a cocky attitude. It's like, you know what? You can just go away for the time being until you calm the fuck down. I treat them like human beings, because they're my guardians, and yeah. Yes, I treat them with respect, but at the same time, I treat them like a human being, like a friend living in my house. Come on. But anyway, keep characteristics in your mind. Be very, very patient. Also, try and figure out, if you don't know who you are, in a spiritual sense, if you don't know your true intentions, you are going to want to figure that out, because if you don't know, and if it's kind of like mixed intentions, like mixed, like good and bad, then they're not going to work with you. They're not going to come to you, because of the fact that they can practically see through you. They can feel it from you. They can see it. They can hear it. You know, it's whole variety of abilities that they just draw knowledge in. It's not a form of, you know, invasion of privacy. It's more of them protecting themselves. Practice is good. You know, practice makes perfect. Are you doing something wrong? Most likely not. It's kind of like rituals and spells. You know, you have to take your time, get a handle on it, find out what feels right to you, you know, all that happy horse shit of going about, you know, how a ritual feels to you. Well, it's the same thing with meditation and contacting any sort of spirit within meditation. What you can also do is not just through meditation, but you can also do a ritual. You know, DJ Conway has a has a companion ritual, and which, in a sense, companions are your guardians. If you have a fascination with dragons, most likely you probably have one around you that has been there for years. You know, don't have a specific image in your head on how a dragon is supposed to look. Don't look at, you know, size and color and, you know, American, Asian, you know, all those different types. Just keep an open mind, and, you know, of course, have your guidelines. It's kind of like a love spell, you know, without necessarily being too specific. Like, you know, I want John North to love me. Well, you're not going to know the name of the dragon that you're calling forth. And if you happen to get a dragon to where they have a very, very simple name, and it's like a fantasy creature, most likely it's your conscience thinking it up due to the fact that their names are like out of this fucking world. It's like of how I ask them not for their true name, but for a name that I can call on them, you know, when I need them, especially, you know, if I need protection. Um, you know, I call them by the name that they give me, and they're there, you know, without a doubt, without any question. I mean, I'll explain it to them, but other than that, they will spiritually protect me if I need it, and if I ask for it. But, of how I see, of how I get their names, it is primarily through meditation, and everyone's abilities are going to be different, but basically, they spell out their names in kind of like liquid fire, I guess you could say, that forms different letters, and then you have to, like, I generally ask for the correct pronunciation of it, of what I see, and any letter that I get, I will mentally kind of store it, and then once the name is complete, I will put it all together and figure out the pronunciation, and like I said, I will ask them about it, or to make sure that that is the name that they wish to be called. You know, I don't hear their names, I just see them. I don't know. I was going to say something, and then I kind of like, if there is any other questions that you wish to ask, I will answer to the best of my ability, most likely from my experiences. I have a random hair that's bothering me. I got it. But, do keep in mind that my way isn't the only way, especially when it comes to contacting any sort of, guardian or spirit. But, if there is a specific dragon that you are looking for, such as, you know, solar flares are interrupting your energies, so call on a sun dragon. But if you call on a specific dragon, it has to be for a reason. You know, it has to be, I need your help to figure this out. If you can't figure it out on your own, you can ask them. I know I kind of added more information into this video than what you had asked for, but not only that, I was explaining kind of like my background and my history when it comes to contacting dragons. And there is a lot more to my path that I have experienced over the years, that I do, and everything else. But if there are any more questions that you would like to ask, especially when it comes to dragons, feel free, comment, message, whatever. I just found that it would be easier to make a video out of it than to type this long, you know, thing for you to read. But I hope this helped. Again, any other questions, just ask. Thank you for watching, and God bless.